Agenda is to have the bracing in for the range hood. I don't know what happened. I failed to do it. I think I mismeasured. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to cut a hole on the bathroom side where we're going to hang them out, and then I'm going to add some brackets and reinforcement so that I can hang the range hood on the other side. And all I'm doing is measuring where I need everything, and I'm going to cut a hole in the drywall and pop into 2x4s, and I'll briefly show you. So it needs to be mounted there and there. So I'm going to cut open some drywall and then put in a brace, and then I'm just going to avoid the plumbing line that's right here, and we'll be good. I did a rough saw, and then I'm carving out the parts where the drywall screws are and removing those. Oops. And I'll keep going. Close call. That's plumbing. And done. Now put the drywall back and patch it and put the range hood in. And then on the other side, we have a range hood. So it's just 2 screws that went in up there, which I didn't film because I was holding it the whole time. And it's ripped in. I'll test it, make sure it's good. Put all the baffles back in. I can never plug, or I can never install things without confirming that they work before I finish them. So plugged it into an extension cord and it works. I don't know how to use it yet, but it's definitely doing something. Nope, I don't know how to use this thing yet. I'm pretty pleased. This hood is much higher than is recommended for installation because I just don't like the idea of bonking my head on it when I inevitably lean over the range. So it's a little higher than normal. Hopefully I don't change my mind, but I can because it's really just screwed in there. So I can always lower it if I don't like seeing that much of the baffles, but this range hood is all wood and it's designed to have this little chimney style and then to go up and have a little tiny piece in the front. But I don't like it and I want it to be enclosed in a much bigger thing. So I'm mocking it up with this paper to imagine the slant, and then I think we'll go straight up on the sides. The debate is to go in at an angle or to go straight up. I think I like. With the hood mounted, we're now gonna hook it up, but code says that we have to be able to access the power, and I'm going to be drywalling all of this in. So we're coming up with a new plan to run the power so we can, from the power that comes in, as well as the plug from inside, because we can remove all of these baffles and we can access it from in here, but we won't be able to access it up there. So we're gonna kind of fuss with it. I don't know why they build it like that. It'd be nice if we could access it in there, but we'll figure it out and move everything around and have power to code. There were a couple different options, but ultimately we decided to bring the power in here, and then we're hardwiring it into this metal box right here. And then we're just gonna cap it and shove all that in for safety. This is what the range hood looks like now, and it's designed to cover up all of this with a small little piece of wood up there, and I don't like that shape. So instead I'm going to encase it in drywall to look like this. And it might not stay like this. I might want to actually wrap it in wood instead, or I might want to add a wood trim piece down here on the bottom or any kind of detail. But I like the simplicity of the hood, and this is where I'll start to create some framing. And so I put it into Photoshop so I could visualize where I needed to put my framing lumber, like this. into this kind of psychedelic thing. I didn't necessarily need to do this, but it was helpful for me to articulate the framing that I wanted, because then I went to my friend Allison of Dew City's Hen House, and she is a SketchUp wizard, and so she put it into SketchUp for me, and we took all the exact measurements down to 1/16 of an inch, and now I have the layout, and then she's able to then measure all of the pieces of lumber, so I know exactly this the size that I need to cut with all of the kind of funky angles down here, and it's gonna really help me to just whip this into shape. I could just maybe wing it and start making cuts here and there willy-nilly, but I find it so much easier to have like a rule book and instructions, and I love visualizing things, so this is what helps me with framing, or with any kind of project really. So this is gonna be my template. I have some extra doodles with the angles and things like that, so let's get into it. If you want to know more about the range hood construction, I shared all of the details on the blog today. I'm able to go into so much more depth on there than I am on Instagram stories. So head there if you want to learn more details, including I also shared all the inspiration images for when I was designing the hood, from vintage ones to new modern ones. I also linked a couple other resources for the construction and building out a range hood tutorial. And I also linked to the exact hood that I have and where I bought it for 1/3 of the price. And what else? I'm sure I shared a whole bunch of other good stuff. So swipe up to check it out, and stay tuned. There's still more to do. I have to do all the finishing touches on it. So stay tuned.